Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. Now this is a follow-up to a video I did a couple of years ago. In fact, it was one of the first 10 videos I ever did, I think, and it was on my 10 of my favourite live albums. Now I was looking through it last night and I thought, are those still my 10 favourites? Probably yes, but there's other ones that could get in there, and there's maybe a couple of them which would maybe fall out of the top 10. So I thought I would see if I could get 10 more that I really do like. Now I must admit, I'm not the biggest live album fan in the world. Give me a studio album every day. But there's some that really do stand out, and I managed to get 10 more. Now some of these are actually recent purchases, some are actually recent releases, even though they were recorded way back in the day. So I thought I'm going to stay away from CDs. I'm just going to stick with vinyl, because there's an awful lot of live CDs, you know, and they're all doubles and triples, and you know, I would rather just stick with, at the most, a triple live album on vinyl. But anyway, I'm going to put a link to the previous video below, and if you don't watch this, these are the 10 albums that are actually featured on that list. Okay, so right, this next 10, I start off with a recent one that I bought, and as I said before, probably my most played artist of 2021, and that is Toya, Warrior Rock from 1982. This is a double album. It's actually her second live album. She released a single one called Toya 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 in 1980, and it is very good as well. But I'm giving this the nod because there's more bang for the buck, really. And this is really good. You know, it's got a lot of the big hits on it, like Good Morning Universe, It's a Mystery, Thunder in the Mountains, I Want to Be Free. But it's got some really good LP tracks from around that time, like We Are, Angel and Me from the Changeling album. And yeah, Warrior Rock itself, I think, was originally a B-side, or it was an outtake, and this is on it as well, really good. And it finishes with IEA. Every Toy album has danced on it, and it's the song to play live, and again, this is another great version of it. So Toya, Warrior Rock, Toya on Tour, really strong double album. Next up, and single album from 1980-81, and this is Hanks by Stiff Little Fingers. I think Rob Walker showed this in a recent video, and this is the best of their first two albums, Inflammable Material and Nobody's Heroes live. That's it, and it is brilliantly done. So you get Nobody's Heroes, Gotta Get Away, Wait and See, Barbed Wire Love, Fly the Flag, Alternative Ulster, all in side one, and those are probably their best songs. Side 2 is nearly as strong, with Johnny Was, At the Edge, Wasted Life, Tin Soldiers, and Fantastic Suspect Device. This is a brilliant album, and so yeah, if you're a Stiff Little Fingers fan, this is one to get as well as the studio albums. Next up, and I've been a Stranglers fan for quite a while, but I've never owned this album until a couple of years ago, and I saw it and it was cheap, and I thought I'll buy it, because I never think of buying Stranglers live. And I actually went to see the Stranglers. I think it was after I saw them that I bought this, and this is great. This was released in 1979, but this really takes in the material from the first two albums, and I think up to about 1978. So yeah, 5 minutes is on this, so you get some really big hits like Get a Grip on Yourself, you get Hanging Around, Straighten Out, 5 minutes, Go Buddy Go. Very good album, really well recorded and very well played, and I just love JJ Brunel's bass as well. So very good album. I didn't think I would actually like this, but it's up there. Excellent. So that's the Stranglers live X certificate. Now this is a recent one. This is the Ramones triple live at the Wireless, and this is a single album, and this has got something like 23 songs on it, and it sounds great on one album for 23 songs because all the songs are about a minute and a half long, and it goes like 100 miles an hour. It really does. They really put everything into this. Like, as I said, whenever I first showed this from the record store video, they're actually counting in 1, 2, 3, 4 almost before they finish the previous song. But yeah, really good stuff. Blitzkrieg Bop, Rockaway Beach, Teenage Lobotomy. You also get stuff like Sheena's a Punk Rocker, of course, California Sun, but you do get stuff from the End of the Century album as well on here. So you get Do You Remember Rock and Roll Radio, and what's the other one as well? Oh, I Want to Be Sedated from the previous album, which I can't remember the name of, Road to Ruin. So yeah, a really good, strong album. And Julia is a Punk is on this as well from the debut, which I love. So yeah, that's up there. I have another Ramones album, which is a double album from '79, released for Record Store Day. I think I prefer the single one. So Ramones triple live at the Wireless. Another Record Store Day one, and it's a double Elton John one, live from Moscow 1979, and this is the tour that he just went out with himself and Ray Cooper, and you would think it's not going to be very powerful, but it is. What an absolute brilliant set list. Starts off with Funeral for a Friend, but it then goes into Tonight. You get Better Off Dead from the Captain Fantastic album. You remember, this is 1979, so those albums are, you know, those classic 70s albums are still very fresh. Like Captain Fantastic was only 4 years old at the time this was recorded. Stuff like Skyline Pigeon, Daniel, Take Me to the Pilot, Rocket Man, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Candle in the Wind, Crocodile Rock, and a good rockin' version of Get Back, Stroke Back in the USSR. Very good album. I've got the video VHS of this. I bought it in the 80s, always loved it, so whenever I found out that this was being released, it was a no-brainer. I had to get it. Next up, and we have Songs in the Attic by Billy Joel. This is the one, the Billy Joel album nobody ever talks about, and this was released between Glass Houses and the Nylon Curtain. And I think that this is a very clever album because these are live songs of his early material, the stuff that nobody really knows much about. So it's his first few albums, and you don't get any big hits on this at all, but it works so well as an album. So you have Everybody Loves You Now from the debut album, Captain Jack from Piano Man, You're My Home from Piano Man, Los Angelinas from Street Life Serenade, I've Loved These Days from Turnstiles. It's a really good album, and it doesn't sound like a live album, but it is. It's live and it is excellent, and a couple of these tracks were used as B-sides of singles in the 80s as well. So Songs in the Attic, it'd be up there for my Billy Joel discography. You know, if I was to include it, it would be very high. Okay, next up, and we have Live Stiffs. Now this is not just one artist. This is Larry Wallace. I'm saying him first because nobody's ever heard of him. Nick Lowe, Elvis Costello, Ian Jury and Reckless Eric, and they all get a couple songs each. I think Larry Wallace only gets the one. So you have Nick Lowe doing Let's Eat and I Knew the Bride. You have Reckless Eric doing Reconnais Cherie and Semaphore Signals. Elvis Costello does I Just Don't Know What to Do with Myself, Miracle Man. Ian Jury, Bella Ricky Dicky, Wake Up and Make Love to Me. The whole lot of them doing Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. It's a really good album. I think Police Car, yeah, is the one that Larry Wallace does. Really, really good album. So this is Live Stiffs, only $2.99 recommended retail price. It was actually released or re-released on Music for Pleasure with a different cover. Never bought it. Rolling Stones, Get Your Ya-Ya's Out. Everybody knows this. Brilliant Stones album, released between Let It Be and Sticky Fingers. This is where you have to hear Midnight Rambler. The live version is the best version. Jumpin' Jack Flash, great opener. You get two Chuck Berry songs, Carol and Little Queenie. Sympathy for the Devil, Live With Me, Stray Cat Blues, Street Fighting Man, from the classic era, and it's a classic album, and was a #1 album as well. So Stones, Get Your Ya-Ya's Out. Couple more left. And we have the Pretenders, the I Love You. It took me years to realise what the I Love You meant. I thought it was just a weird name for an island, but I love you, but I'm a bit thick that way. This is like an MTV Unplugged. So it's Chrissy on the acoustic guitar. They're all acoustic guitar, and you get some really great versions. The version of 2000 Miles on this is magnificent. Sense of Purpose is really good. I love the version of Chill Factor from the Get Close album. I Go to Sleep, Kid, I Hurt You, Brass and Pocket. It's just really good, and thankfully this was released on vinyl a few years ago, so I was able to pick it up. This was originally, I think, only a CD release. So yeah, I Love You, Pretenders, from originally 1995, I think. And lastly, Remember the 5th of November. Of course, I'm going to show ABBA, and this is live at Wembley Arena in 1979. This is a triple album set, a double CD set, and it's really just a big greatest hits set. So you have Voulez-Vous, although you do get a couple of Voulez-Vous tracks, like If It Wasn't for the Nights and As Good As New, but the majority of these are singles. You have Thank You for the Music, Name of the Game, Gimme Gimme Gimme, SOS Fernando, Summer Night City. You also get a new song that Agneta wrote called I'm Still Alive, and it's one of the only 2 official ABBA releases that has her name as a writing credit. A couple other LP tracks like Eagle and Why Did It Have to Be Me and Hole in Your Soul. So it's not all singles, there is quite a few LP tracks as well. This is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and 2 weeks from now ABBA's Voyage will be on the shelf. I keep on saying this, I just can't wait. So yeah, fantastic album. So that's 10 more live albums in my collection that I really do like. But as I said before, I am not the biggest live album fan. You know, I do actually sometimes get annoyed on record store day whenever one of your favourite artists releases a live album, and then another live album, then another live album. The amount of live albums by David Bowie is ridiculous that I've actually stopped buying them. Well, I say I have, but we'll see. Okay, that's me for now. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.